because it's not just your health, but it's your children, it's your family, and the community.
The governor confirming there are 16 positive cases of the coronavirus in Arkansas. Thanks for joining us on Fox 16 News at 9. I'm Stephanie Sharp. Governor Asa Hutchinson says the cases are in Pulaski, Saline, Garland, and Jefferson counties. The Department of Health says in Garland County there are 2 people with COVID-19 there. They recently traveled out of state. ADH says they have isolated themselves. The Department of Health believes they have not been in contact with anyone else. We have team coverage on every angle of the coronavirus in Arkansas. Hillary Hunt has details on schools across Arkansas being ordered to close. Claire Kreitz is covering how first responders are taking action to combat the spread. But first, we want to take you to the press conference held today by Governor Asa Hutchinson and other state leaders, updating Arkansans on the pandemic spread.
Since we met yesterday, we've had 4 additional cases, bringing the total to 16.
More cases of COVID-19 and more precautions as the virus begins to spread in the natural state. As Governor Asa Hutchinson and other state leaders giving an update this afternoon about the coronavirus spread in Arkansas Sunday.
These are individuals that are we consider to be at high risk, high probability, and yet we've gotten a lot more negatives than we have positive.
On the topic of testing.
But we expect that to be expanded tenfold by the end of next week, where they can process 200 tests during the day.
The governor telling people to stop with the crazy shopping.
We need to avoid panic buying. Grocery stores will continue to be open in the future. Grocery stores will not be closed.
Same press briefing, Governor Hutchinson announcing all Arkansas public schools will be closed next week during the coronavirus spread concern. Hillary Hunt joins us now in the studio with details on what school districts are doing and how long this is going to last.
Hey, Stephanie, the governor made the announcement today alongside Education Commissioner Johnny Key. Here's what he said. Governor Hutchinson ordered all public schools to close starting by Tuesday, March 17th through the end of spring break. He did say superintendents can decide whether they would like to close or not on Monday. Many already saying they will. Although students will be home, they're still going to be learning throughout the alternative methods of instruction packets, also known as AMI days. Hutchinson says many educators and parents expressed concerns about the spread of the COVID-19 virus. Education Commissioner Johnny Key says the Department of Education will work with superintendents to make sure each school is cleaned and sanitized.
It is a very tough call to make because we know that students depend on so many things for their care and education in their local schools. We also are heartened to know that in many of the communities they are making preparations for meal programs to continue.
If you're wondering about your kid being out tomorrow for those school closures, just head to our website, fox16.com. You can also check with your local school district to hear about their closure plans amid the coronavirus. Governor Hutchinson said schools should be back in session by March 30th unless the circumstances end up changing. Stephanie?
Hillary, thanks so much. Here in Central Arkansas, several schools are pitching in to hand out free lunches while schools are out. For the city of Little Rock, there will be opportunities to get grab-and-go lunches. They will be available at these Little Rock libraries from 11:30 to 1 p.m. The North Little Rock School District says lunch will be provided for students starting on Monday. They will be available no matter where you live. There are 6 designated schools, including North Little Rock High School, Boone Park Elementary, and Amboy Elementary. These are grab-and-go lunches. You will not be able to sit in the cafeteria. You can find all of this information over on our website, fox16.com. Attorney General Leslie Rutledge also speaking out at today's press conference, calling out those who may be price gouging in the state. She says in no uncertain terms that anyone found to be price gouging will face severe penalties. That includes steep fines, and she says price gouging laws will be in effect for the next 30 days. They may be extended.
Price gouging law is broad. It's meant to cover consumer goods that may be in short supply. These may be some examples include disinfectant, cleaning, personal items, medicine, medical supplies, goods used for personal care, food, and water.
The Attorney General said the law applies not only to retailers, but also individuals who may be selling through Facebook Marketplace or other online platforms, such as Amazon. A safety alert tonight. First responders are now taking extra precautions to protect themselves from COVID-19. Claire Kreitz spoke with a volunteer fire department. Claire joins us in the studio. This is something they have in the back of their mind on every call.
That's right, Stephanie. For a volunteer department, numbers are everything. If one person were to get sick, it would mean the entire department would have to go into quarantine. Now they are taking steps to make sure that doesn't happen. The West Pulaski Fire Department has 5 stations covering more than 150 miles and just 50 volunteers.
In a volunteer department, people are our most precious resource.
With a highly transmittable virus like COVID-19 spreading across the state, just one of those firefighters catching it could impact the entire department.
Having one crew that has to be quarantined is going to impact our ability to respond.
Chief Scott Joblin says that's why his crew is taking extra precautions.
We want them to pause and go through their mind, what do I need to be aware of? What do I need to observe? What questions do I need to ask?
It starts with the 911 call. Dispatchers ask questions about travel, who patients have been in contact with, and if they have any symptoms related to COVID-19.
And if there's any concern about that, that information is passed on to us by radio so we can prepare before we get on scene.
That preparation includes typical protective gear like gloves. First responders are adding other equipment to their arsenal.
CDC has found that if a responder is wearing a mask or a provider is wearing a mask as well as the patient, the potential for exposure goes way down.
They use eye protection and surgical gowns too.
This is just like you'd see an ER nurse wearing.
Once the firefighters are done with the call,
all of this would be properly disposed of.
Even with these extra measures, Joblin says the public still has to do their part, being 100% transparent with the dispatcher.
If you have to repeat it multiple times, that's okay. It's our duty to protect each other at this point.
Joblin added they are continuing their cleaning practices on trucks, tools, and anything that could hold germs. He also says they do have mutual aid agreements with neighboring departments, so if a crew were to get quarantined, there would be other first responders covering the area.
Now, weather to plan your day with meteorologist Kristen Kennedy.
Well, if you were hoping to get out and about this weekend, you probably noticed A, the cloud cover wasn't going anywhere, B, the rain also wasn't stopping, and C, it was a whole lot colder than normal. Temperatures today down almost 15 degrees here in Little Rock. In fact, it was 50 the high compared to where we should be, 64. This morning's lows, however, right on the dot, hitting 43. And as far as rainfall, we picked up less than 1/4 of an inch, but we do have even more on the way this week. High temperatures elsewhere, certainly a bit cooler off towards the north. Looking through Mountain Home at 43, 44 the high in Batesville, 50 in West Memphis. Down south, though, it was just a tad bit warmer, with temperatures reaching the low to middle 50s, 57 in DeQueen as well as El Dorado. Those were our 2 warm spots, and we do certainly have a bit of a warm up on the way this week, thankfully, with another warm front lifting off towards the north. However, that system's going to continue to stream in moisture. It's another reason why, yet again, we're going to see more cloud cover this week, as well as rain arriving. In fact, it's going to be arriving as early as tomorrow, very early in the morning, meaning your Monday morning commute, if you're headed out and about and headed to work or other locations, you're likely going to come across some showers and possibly even some thunderstorms. And it's not just Monday. We do have wet weather continuing almost the entirety of the week this week. A brief warm up in temperatures for the middle of the week, then cooling down heading into next weekend. There is some good news. At least one day features a smaller rain chance, perhaps a better break in the rainfall. We're going to talk more about which day that is and what you can expect for the week ahead in your full forecast in just a few minutes.
Kristen, thank you. The coronavirus pandemic is impacting life as we know it. Americans are making adjustments as we all try to curb the spread. Marianne Rafferty has a look at the national impact.
Many cities around the country are closing or considering closing bars and restaurants in an effort to stop the spread of coronavirus.
To think that right now everything is going to be okay if you don't do anything, that's absolutely incorrect.
Meanwhile, a growing list of stores, including Apple, Nike, and Urban Outfitters, have decided to close all locations coast to coast. Some retailers shuttering only some locations, and several major grocery store chains are shortening their hours, including some Walmarts, which are typically open around the clock, so employees can restock necessities.
Good morning, St. Luke's parishioners, wherever you are.
And religious services like this one at Atlanta's historic St. Luke's Episcopal Church are being live streamed, with the preacher surrounded by empty pews. And some children are even attending Sunday school from their homes. And as travelers return to the U.S. amid travel restrictions, they're being met with hours-long lines for the required medical screening. The hefty wait times and large crowds in a time of social distancing, evoking harsh criticism of the federal government from local lawmakers.
Not only are you creating a disaster, not only are you creating a hazardous circumstance that threatens the public, you risk causing serious illness and death.
And if box office numbers are any indication as far as how seriously people are taking these changes, more people went to the movies the weekend after 9/11 than went to the movies this weekend. In Los Angeles, Marianne Rafferty, Fox News.
Earlier today, Vice President Mike Pence and members of the Trump administration's coronavirus task force updated reporters on federal efforts to contain the outbreak. Mr. Pence is heading up the task force. As it stands now, more than 2,900 cases of the coronavirus have been reported in the U.S., resulting in at least 62 deaths. President Trump has called a national state of emergency.
With more than 2,900 cases of coronavirus in 49 states across the country, I want to assure the American people that this administration, all of our partners at the state level, and local health officials have no higher priority than the health and safety of the American public.
Vice President Pence says the coronavirus has been reported in all of the states but one, that's West Virginia. He says dealing with the outbreak is the top priority of government at all levels. New tonight, the Center for Disease Control has released new guidance regarding large events and mass gatherings. It is now advising people or businesses to cancel events with over 50 people in attendance for the next 8 weeks. This includes things like conferences, festivals, parade, weddings, among others. A money alert tonight. The coronavirus threat is prompting Walmart to cut its store hours. Starting today, Walmart stores will be open from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. until further notice. Walmart says the reduced hours will give employees time to restock shelves, clean and sanitize. Not all of Walmart's 5,000 plus stores are affected by the change. Stores that operate under more reduced hours will keep their current hours of operation. The coronavirus has several symptoms. As the flu, most of the people who get the virus have a runny nose, sore throat, a cough, and a fever. Difficulty breathing is also a symptom that can happen in more severe cases. This is a story we have been closely following. We have been covering every angle. You can head over to our website, fox16.com, for all of our latest information there. Many long-term care facilities and nursing homes here in Central Arkansas are forced to take extreme measures to protect some of the most vulnerable to the coronavirus. That means no visitors. So some are having to get creative to remind their loved ones they're still here. One of our viewers sent us these photos of her daughters making a different type of visit this afternoon with their great-grandmother. It's a great reminder to check up on your loved ones in a very safe way during this time. Well, coming up after the break, we had a break in rain today, but that won't last long. Kristen has a full forecast that's coming up, plus inside coverage of one Ohio man who survived a severe case of COVID-19. We'll show you what he experienced.